This is absolutely insane. Hoping there's camping spots available with it being a Saturday. We're pretty early in the season, so, and tomorrow's Mother's Day, so hopefully it's not as packed. Not that I'm saying you people shouldn't get out. Everybody should start doing more stuff outside. But, you know, it would be nice to just have a spot since we came all this way. But man, it was really beautiful through here. I got some drone footage of a really cool bridge that we went through. And man, I can't wait to show it to you. This dirt road's gonna take forever, man. This truck will plow through a lot of stuff, but you just gotta go slow. You hit any bump and it's like, nuts. I'm driving really slow. It got me thinking, you know, several people have asked me already, like, why I decided to buy this truck and not a newer truck. Well, for one, a new truck is very expensive, and who can afford $80,000+ for a truck nowadays? It's absurd. And it is true that a newer truck, whether us OBS fans will admit it or not, the motors are putting out way more horsepower and more torque. This thing could only ever dream of that. Even though the motor is larger, you know, the 6.7 as an example puts out significantly more horsepower and torque than this thing ever will. Now you can set these things up to be absolute just monsters, but out goes the reliability at that point. You know, newer motors, regardless what the old timers say, where they don't build stuff like they used to, that's true, but the newer motors nowadays can be reliable and still outperform this thing by a mile. I mean, there's no question. But I like the square body truck styles. And you want to know the truth? The reason why I wanted this truck is because of these damn little windows right here. Hell yeah, buddy. Can't get that in a new truck. Love those little triangles. Fantastic. All right. Picked out our spot. It's a pretty good one at that. Pretty sweet. The only complaint is, oh my God, there are so many freaking bugs. I don't know if I'm getting any of this on camera. These like gnat things are absolutely everywhere. Good God. Well, they're not biting, so that's fine. Got both solar panels deployed. And yeah, we're cooking. We're rocking a good 280 watts, 260 watts, bouncing back and forth between those two. And then the sun's already down here and the solar panels on top are flat facing, so they're only maybe getting about between 50 and 70 watts combined. But they're gonna absolutely cook tomorrow, that's for sure. Good morning, world. Oh, it's already starting to warm up a bit. Better start opening up some of these windows. show you guys this. I picked this up at Walmart. It's a little collapsible sink in the camping section. The reason why I got this is because I've been filling this up with water and rinsing my dishes in there, and then I dump the rest of that water outside, because the gray water tank in this camper is so freaking small that it can really only accommodate 4 to 5 days of washing dishes, and that's a pretty light use before it's full. So this thing works pretty good. My only complaint is that little plastic drain on the bottom, you tighten it as tight as it'll go, and then you fill it with water, and a few moments later it kind of starts to loosen itself, so it starts to drain. So I'm probably just going to glue that shut, but it works pretty good. The whole thing is just like this rubber, so it just collapses down, but I've just been leaving it here in the sink. It fits perfect, so. Just gonna go find a spot to sit down. We have a chair, but it's kind of windy, and I don't know about water. It says it's supposed to be windy through noon, so we can use that time to get some work done, and hopefully this evening it chills out a bit. Okay, so I had to do a little bit of research because, to be frank, I don't even know where the hell I am. I just thought that this looked nice, so we came here. But this is apparently not called a lake. It's called a river. Bull crap. This is a lake. But they call it Green River. But what's cool is just before the lake ends, like maybe not even half a mile, there's an imaginary dotted line right there that separates Utah and Wyoming. So we are literally like camping right next to the border between Utah and Wyoming. So that's kind of neat. When we go up to Wyoming, I wonder if it's going to have us take some roads going that way. If so, it's going to take forever, but it'll be maybe a nice view. But man, this is, it's pretty. I need to check out to see what kind of fish are here too, because man, I really should have brought my tackle gear. Really want to cast a line out here. And cue the zoomies. He absolutely loves being at a lake. Here he goes. Good Lord. Don't hurt yourself. Look at this guy. Alright, he'll do this for about half an hour. Yes. Hi. Tell everybody you got the zoomies. Doesn't talk very much. Oh, okay. Sorry. Alright, I'm going to do my best to record this, but I don't know if it's the way we're sitting, maybe the way the weight's sitting with it kind of angling through the back, but last night his camper was rocking. Like, you move a little bit and it would kind of blow. That's about the most it's done it so far. So I don't know if it's just the way we're sitting or what, but the wind is also picking up. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna use the electric jack stands. And I see a lot of people do this at every campsite. I don't, but we're gonna lower the jack stands just enough where they're touching the ground so that the truck doesn't do a lot of moving. Now you have to be careful about this because you don't want to lower them so much that you're lifting up the camper a little bit, because then you're also supporting weight of the truck on those legs. And these are bolted directly into the camper. And if you rip these off, it is a very time-consuming and costly repair. Some people will actually total these things out if those get ripped off, so we're not going to do that. So I've got the little remote here, hoping it's charged. If not, I've got another one of these that you have to plug in for emergencies. There goes the wind. So what we got to do first is make sure that it's on. Sorry. Oh, the wind's picking up strong. Holy smoke. Okay, so see this guy here? I'm gonna push it on. It's not beeping, it's just on like that, so we're paired, we're good. Oh. Had to make a little spot for the steps here because they don't go down far enough since the ground kind of slopes down. Okay, so now what we're gonna do, I'm gonna take this and we're gonna hit lift. So this controls all of them. This would control the front left, front right. So that's driver's side front, passenger side front, passenger side rear, driver's side rear. So we're gonna hit lift. You can kind of see all of them. They're going down. It's really slow, but these things are pretty torquey, so they're very low geared so that they can lift up and accommodate all of the weight. Looks like that front left one might hit first. All right, so yeah, this one's gonna hit first. So I'm gonna stop, and we're gonna kind of recenter this. Some of those rocks. Hopefully it can, there we go. It's not gonna be perfect. And these plastic things are gonna break anyway, but whatever. All right, so now I'm just doing one. Okay, so that's touching. Let's go do the other side. And remember, we're not lifting up the camper. We're just touching it on that when it rocks, it, you know, hits the leg first. There we go. Very little movement. That should help. Right on. Also got the solar deployed. It's a little cloudy now, so it's not making as much, but it is absolutely cooking. We were down to 70% when we woke up, and we're already back to 92% here. Currently at 175, but this morning we were getting like 265, 270 on the regular, which was pretty solid. And then for the rooftop, we're currently getting 140, and it's kind of cloudy, so we were getting a little over 200 earlier, and I mean, we're already at 13.4 volts, which is full, but this will go up to 14.2. So we're just absolutely cooking today, which is great. Yeah, so got some dishes to do. This is my second pot of coffee. I don't know what the heck it is that's here outside, but there's these little tiny flowers, and I suspect maybe this is what I'm allergic to. I've always had really bad allergies as a kid, but I notice my allergies are not as bad if I'm in a more like mountainy kind of environment like we were earlier. But as soon as I get to the desert, all these little yellow flowers and these like purple flowers, I feel like it's those. I don't know if that's like ragweed or what that is, but absolutely killing me. Last night went to bed and it was awful. Went to bed last night and the whole left side of my sinus cavities up here were completely plugged. This side was fine. I slept on this side, so all of the drainage down my throat, oh my god. So my allergies are kicking my butt today. But you know, we're not gonna let that stop us. The wind is pretty bad. Just slammed the door. So I think what we're gonna do for a little while is we're gonna head inside, and I'm gonna move these solar panels. As you can see, first the sun's about here, and the solar panels are still facing the morning, so I'm gonna tilt them to their side, facing this way. What direction is that? That is south, so we're gonna have it facing south so that it collects more of the sunlight, and then as we get towards the evening, I'll point it towards there. We're almost full, but I'm gonna start charging my devices now. So we're gonna move that, and then we're gonna hunker down inside for a little bit, let this wind pass. I'll do some editing, have some lunch, and then we'll come back out towards the evening. And don't say anything, but me and this one are probably gonna take an outdoor shower today. He stinks. So I'm sitting here looking at the forecast, and it looks like we have some changes. So initially it was supposed to just be windy till about 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. But now going through it, it looks like it's pretty much gonna keep up till the evening. So that kind of sucks because we were kind of hoping to enjoy this day, but we're gonna make the best of it. Let's see if there's, let's look at the wind map. Oof, yeah. So that's where we are. Yeah, it says gusts of 21, but honestly it feels like more than that. Yeah, you can kind of see it dipping a little below after 6, but it's still going to kind of keep up after that. How's tomorrow going to be? Not quite as windy, which means we do need to leave in the morning. In other words, we're going to be like, ugh, driving in that's going to suck. Well, you can't have perfect days at the lake, so we're going to just enjoy it. Is it going to be hotter today? Get to about 73. Out here, that feels pretty hot, but maybe the winds are going to keep it cool. We'll see. It does get colder later in the week. We just happen to come during the warm weekend, which is interesting. Holy smokes, we are getting absolutely hammered by wind right now. Kirk is freaking out. Jeez. Shit, everything's getting blown around too. I just put the chair away. Well, all right. That stuff's not going nowhere. Good God. Just getting absolutely hammered. I'm kind of nervous to open the door right now because it's just gonna like fly open. Let me use both hands, hold on. This is absolutely insane. I was trying to get up on the stairs and it was like blowing me off, so I got the antenna down and need to take that inside. Had to use two hands so I couldn't video it. I had to take down the solar panels and put them in because they were just getting tossed around. This is absolutely nuts. Thank God I put these legs on. This thing would be rocking like crazy. Kirk's going nuts. He doesn't like it either. I can't get it on camera, but I'm getting a bunch of the lake spray in my face. That's how hard it's blowing. It's just blowing bits of water all over. But this is nuts. I better check to make sure there's not like a tornado or something. In Utah, that'd be weird, but this is pretty gnarly. Okay, no tornado warnings or nothing, but we're tracking severe thunderstorms coming this way. It's definitely getting ready to dump. Only thing that makes me a little nervous is if we do have to pack up and leave, getting those legs up takes a while. That's about the only thing, but I'm gonna make sure we're inside and ready to hightail it if something really gets bad. I'm not gonna be able to hightail it out of here anyway because that dirt road takes a while. But holy smokes, I'm having trouble even holding the phone in my hand. That looks a little ominous on camera, don't it? Good God. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get this on camera at all, but I'm glad we put down those legs because this thing is getting shoved around. Man. It kind of looks like the majority of it's gonna miss us though. It's kind of moving a little diagonal, but it keeps shifting this way too. So it's like the wind's doing this right now. Direction-wise, it's kind of going like this. So I think the big stuff just barely might miss us. But man, this thing came out of frickin' nowhere. Like, obviously it was windy today, but then these clouds just popped out of nowhere too. Look at the size of those waves. Poor Kirk, he's getting a little freaked out. Good Lord. Does that look like a frickin' tornado on screen? It sure frickin' does. You can actually see the outline of it a little better on the phone screen here that I'm recording with as opposed to just looking at it. So I'm gonna keep an eye on this. Make sure it's nothing bad. Oh my God. See that door getting forced open by the wind. There's a lock on it too, which is interesting. The overall wind has slowed down a little bit, but the gusts have picked up harder, which is very weird. And you can kind of see the waves. They're coming in this direction. So we're not completely broadsiding it. We're kind of at an angle, which is fair. But it is coming this way and then getting all this side of the camper. So it's rocking us pretty good. Kirk's hiding under here. Poor little guy, he's freaked out, but I think we'll be okay. Ooh, see? Jeez. Angry clouds. All right, I think we're at the tail end of it, but it is definitely getting worse. Oh my God. Sorry guys, I'm not going out there. Unfortunately, we're getting broadsided now, so I really need to pay attention here. If we start seeing gusts above 60 miles an hour, that's when I gotta start moving the truck. So, there you go. Starting to calm down a bit. And just like that, the storm's gone. There's a little bit of a breeze, but it ain't bad. Let's do a walk around. Holy smokes. Well, okay. Guess I'm glad I set some of these up. Look, this one completely came undone. We'll have to fix that. And you know, with the siding, nothing bad there. Let's go around. All the bugs came back, damn it. All right, I don't see anything broken on this side. All right, nothing's broke up here. Everything held on. Sheesh. This is a great opportunity to show you why the alternator charger really comes in handy. So we can see right now that we're full. We're at 14.2 volts. This is solar wattage coming in, but the charge controller is only pulling in wattage that's being used basically right now. So this is running like the little screen here and you know, that guy and a few little things. So there's 9 to 10 watts coming in right now. Now what I'm gonna do is switch on the alternator charger and I'll show you what this ends up jumping to. So now I put the DC to DC charger at a max of 100 watts. And we could see that my solar input then jumps up to about 63, 64, now 65. And we're still charging up. You could see the voltage drops because I'm pulling wattage from this battery. If I were to stop it though, it'd stop back at 14.2. And I guarantee if I were to up the 100 amp maximum to, let's say 200, 300, 400 or whatever, this would actually jump a little bit more, but 100 watts is fine because the EcoFlow battery is already at 95%. All right, well, since the storm is basically over, it's not quite crazy warm out right now, but I need to take a shower. So I think we're gonna take an outdoor shower. I'm gonna show you how this works. I'm not gonna demonstrate in the nude, but I'll show you how everything works, and then I'll take a shower and then we'll call it a day. But if YouTube wants to start paying to see that kind of thing, you just let me know. Okay, so it's a little bit chilly out, so had to get my keys. So I'm probably gonna want some amount of heat. I won't need a bunch, but I'm gonna want some hot water. So what I'm gonna do behind here is my tankless water heater. There's some pros and cons with this. I like the tankless water heater option in a camper for showering, but it sucks for doing dishes. Having a tank water heater where it can preheat X amount of, you know, like a gallon or whatever, that makes it really nice because then you have instant hot water if you let it warm up in advance when you're doing dishes. But we're gonna go ahead and turn this guy on. I'm gonna shut that. Like that. And then we're gonna undo my shower here. I think this is the key. I actually had to replace this when I first got the camper. It was kind of a pain. And here it is. We'll take it out. And you can hang it right there. And then bada bing. And we got a shower. I'm gonna bring out my little table, portable table here. Let me actually show you. I actually picked this thing up from Walmart. I've seen a few campers with them already, and they're pretty freaking nice. Let me show you. Oh, hard to do stuff one-handed. Okay. So, let's go ahead and hook this guy up. Give me this. Give me this. That's one-handed operation. There we go. But I still have the tag on it. That's funny. But yeah, here we go. Look at that. Bam. Has a little plasticky looking wood on it and everything. Pretty sweet. So I'll bring out my shampoo, my body wash. I know that there's like nobody around, but I don't want to get in trouble for indecent exposure. So I usually put on trunks and go ahead and take care of this. Oh, there's one more step. So just because we turned the button on in there doesn't mean that the tankless water heater is actually on. All these bugs, Jesus. Look at that. Doesn't mean that the tankless water heater is actually on. To do that, we gotta come over here. And these are the settings, so I'm gonna turn that on. And like I said, I'm gonna turn that on. There it goes. and then you can set the temperature. I'm gonna turn that down. We don't have to have it that high right now. There we go, and that's it. Well, just when I thought we were done, just enough time to take a quick shower. We need to get started on an early dinner. Looks like we might be getting dropped on pretty soon here. Never had it, so I'm making some Wagyu steak and some green beans. Should be pretty good. That looks pretty darn good. Look at that steak. Dang, dang, dang. In other news, I didn't notice, but earlier today, it looks like my freaking fridge blew out from the propane, maybe from all the wind. So I shut off the low tank and turned on the high tank, cycled it on and off, turned the gas back on, and now it's getting there. But it was not crazy cold in the fridge. The freezer's still okay, so hopefully I didn't ruin any food. I'll check that once I'm done eating.